From MTN News, this is Montana This Morning.
I'm Jonathan Amberian in Helena. I'll give you the latest on an ongoing legal dispute that could determine what's required for voters in the upcoming elections this year.
The proposed name of Gianforte Hall led to a packed meeting room. Here's some of those public testimonies coming up.
Well, happy Friday, Southwest Montana, 6:30. Chet Lehman, Matt Elwell with you here. To give you an idea what kind of morning it has been here at the studios, our director just left for a moment in that commercial break. We were in autopilot while he went out to get his coat.
Yeah.
Not because it's cold outside.
It's because it's cold
That's
inside.
right.
Yeah,
so there you go. That's what we're dealing with here at the studios this morning.
And we've seen a very quick transition from rain to snow, back to a rain-snow mix, and just a degree or two really making a huge difference.
It's been fun to watch. It's been kind of crazy.
Yeah, not as fun to drive in, I'll tell you that. Temperatures right now into the low 30s, mainly talking windshield wiper type of conditions this morning in the form of rain, or chubby rain, as I like to call it, as it changes over. It doesn't look like much in southwest Montana, but you lay over the Futurecast, the model data. Of course, we don't get that low-level radar, and this is a low-level system, meaning that we're not getting those. Okay, anyway, as I'm geeking out. Looks like a few isolated snow showers changing over to rain as we go through the day today. It should taper quickly as you get later into the day. Highs today only in the 40s, but keep in mind the wind speeds will be kicking up between 10 and 20 miles an hour, and that's going to keep the wind chill down into the 30s. We're going to talk about the impacts of your weekend forecast and much more in just a few minutes.
Smoke coming out of your ears. You were on a roll there, my friend.
Man, I could have talked
meteorology nightmare there for a second. 6:32. Our top story this half hour. Montana's primary elections are just over a month away. School elections are next week. But there's still legal uncertainty over what will be required from voters. TN's Jonathan Amberian explains the current situation.
Montana's Secretary of State wants the state Supreme Court to step in to reinstate some election rules that were passed by the Montana legislature, but which are currently held up in court.
On Wednesday, Montana Secretary of State Christy Jacobson's office asked justices to stay a district court order that blocked two new regulations, one eliminating Election Day voter registration, and the other requiring voters using student IDs for identification to bring additional documents. Plaintiffs, including the Montana Democratic Party, Montana Tribes and Advocates, and youth voting groups, challenged the laws as unconstitutional restrictions on voting. Earlier this month, a judge in Billings granted their request for an injunction to block enforcement of those laws until a final ruling on their constitutionality. Jacobson argued election officials have already been trained on the new laws, and her office has been educating the public about the requirements. So allowing a change this close to an election date would create unnecessary confusion. Last week, the district court declined to suspend its injunction during the appeal process. It will likely be the Supreme Court's decision that determines whether these rules are enforced during the next election. The district judge also enjoined two other election-related laws, one prohibiting paid ballot collection and one stopping ballots from being issued to 17-year-olds who turn 18 by Election Day. But Jacobson is not asking for a stay on those for now. That means they will not be enforced for the June election. A spokesperson for Jacobson's office told MTN they narrowed their appeal because it was, quote, the cleanest way to allow election officials to operate the election in the way they have been trained.
The June primary will be the first statewide election since 2018 to be conducted with polling places. In 2020, state elections were held entirely by mail during the pandemic. In Lewis and Clark County, election officials say they've had more than enough people interested in serving as election judges. In Helena, Jonathan Amberian, MTN News.
6:34 now. Senator Jon Tester proposing two bills to make meatpacking markets in the United States more fair. TN's senior political reporter Ashley Nurbavig tells us if the bills are passed, those measures could go into effect as early as next year.
Montana stock growers say that they are struggling to make money because of consolidation within the beef industry.
I've been contacted by a lot of folks in the cattle industry that says you got to do something about this because we're going broke.
The Cattle Price Discovery and Transparency Act, as well as the Meatpacking Special Investigator Act, would increase competition in the markets, Tester said. The first bill would create a database of contracts between packers and producers. It would require packers to share scheduled slaughter numbers in an upcoming 14-day period, and it would increase penalties for packers violating federal law. The bill would also establish mandatory minimum prices for cash cattle sales. This part of the bill is still controversial among stock growers.
The main concern really is when you have that direct government involvement in dictating how you will sell cattle.
Jay Bodner is the executive vice president of the Montana Stock Growers Association. He spoke to Tester about the bills Thursday in D.C. Even with the mandatory minimum question, Bodner believes a lot of the provisions will benefit Montana's cattle feeders and growers.
And say you're a little meat packer and you want to double the size of your operation, you get a low interest loan from the federal government, you double the size of your operation, you start getting noticed by the JBSs or the Tysons of the world. They come in, they undercut your prices, put you out of business. That's antitrust. That's illegal.
That is where the second bill comes in. Tester wants to create a special investigator within the USDA to prevent anti-competitive activities and enforce antitrust law.
One of the frustrations that we have today is that the Department of Justice, almost 2 years later, still has not completed their investigation of whether there is any, potential problems with price fixing within the packers currently.
From the Senate floor, Tester highlighted how the consolidation of the beef market is hurting Montanans.
I want you to think about what it would be like to take over the farm that your grandfather or great-grandfather or great-great-grandfather homesteaded has been successful for generations, and now all of a sudden the books don't balance. And we wonder why we have a challenge with mental health in rural America today.
Senator Steve Daines also supports the two bills.
Tester says he expects these bills will hit the Senate floor within 2 weeks. In Helena, Ashley Nurbopig, MTN News.
In other news this morning, the Gianforte Family Foundation donating $50 million for a proposed new building on the MSU campus. But not everyone is on board for naming it Gianforte Hall. TN's Jane McDonald explains why some oppose the name.
Members of the community gathered here in the Strand Union building at Montana State University. The topic, the proposed name of Gianforte Hall.
Come forward to the podium, state your first and last name and your testimony, and again.
20 people spoke at the meeting, 18 of which opposed the university's proposed name of Gianforte Hall.
We, the members of the Department of Political Science at Montana State University here in Bozeman, strongly object to naming the new physical home of the School of Computing Gianforte Hall.
In opposition to naming this building after the Gianforte Family Foundation.
I would support Gianforte family naming it whatever they choose to. A gift ought to be a gift.
It is fine to take his money, but please do not honor this individual by enshrining him with a monument.
We must consider how much glorification and recognition should be given because of one's wealth.
And I would actually like to speak in support of the naming proposal.
A conference room became a place to air concern, support, or opposition. From the idea of a building sharing a name with a politician in office.
First, public institutions should not put themselves in a position to offer candidates, regardless of their party, for political office, free marketing, or political advertising.
It is an exceptional gift, to be sure, but Greg Gianforte is also an exceptional state employee.
To what message they believe this would send?
A plaque outside of the building acknowledging the donation should be more than suffice. If it doesn't, then that indicates the donation was made in the spirit of self-recognition by the donor, not a selfless donation to the students.
And what should be expected in return for a donation, tied as the second largest in MSU history at $50 million.
Naming this building after Governor Gianforte or his family will send a stark message that MSU cares more about money than promoting the values of diversity and inclusion.
$50 million is an enormous amount of money. A new building is an enormous resource for students on campus. And I think the thing to do here is to take his money and run with it.
The vast majority of those that spoke were against the naming proposal. For any building, it takes about a year of planning and preparation before breaking ground.
Now, public comment lasted for about an hour, and all of those comments will be sent over to the Board of Regents for their consideration for their May meeting. At Montana State University, Jane McDonald, MTN News.